The USS Pioneer, a colossal testament to human ingenuity, glided silently through the vast, star-speckled expanse of space. Inside, the hum of machinery and the soft glow of computer screens provided a constant backdrop to the crew's daily activities. Captain Elara Tran sat in the command center, her eyes scanning the holographic displays that projected a map of their journey. Her fingers danced across the touch-sensitive controls, zooming in on a cluster of asteroids that lay in their path. She was calculating their trajectories, ensuring any potential collision could be avoided. Her face, illuminated by the soft light of the displays, was a picture of concentration, a testament to the responsibility she bore. Outside the ship, tethered by a safety line, was Leo Rodriguez. Clad in a spacesuit, he was busy with a power drill, working on one of the ship's vast solar panels. A small malfunction had reduced its efficiency, and in space, every watt of power was precious. His movements were methodical, each turn of the drill precise. Leo's voice crackled over the radio, "Almost done here, just tightening the last bolt." Hovering nearby was Sergeant Alexei Ivanov, his cybernetic arm glistening in the sunlight that streamed unfiltered through space. He was keeping an eye on Leo, ready to assist if needed. Alexei's enhancements were not just for combat, his augmented strength and stability were invaluable in these zero-gravity repairs. "Careful with that panel, it's older than we are," he joked, his voice echoing in Leo's earpiece. Meanwhile, in the ship's hydroponic lab, Dr. Nia Patel was engrossed in her latest experiment. Rows of greenery surrounded her, a stark contrast to the metallic interior of the rest of the ship. She carefully tended to a tray of photosynthetic algae, a key component in their plans for terraforming Atlas III. Under the microscope, the algae's cells danced in a choreography only she could understand. "If these little guys can thrive, so can we," she murmured to herself, a note of hope in her voice. As the Pioneer continued its journey, each crew member was absorbed in their task, unaware that the day was about to take an unexpected turn, one that would test their resolve and their commitment to their mission like never before. The tranquility of space was shattered in an instant. Without warning, an asteroid, too small and too fast to be detected, collided with the USS Pioneer. The impact was a silent, violent tremor that rippled through the ship, jolting everyone on board. In the command center, alarms blared as Elara struggled to assess the damage. "What in the cosmos was that?" she muttered, her fingers flying over the controls. The ship's AI responded with a calm yet urgent voice, "Hull breach detected. Oxygen levels decreasing." Outside, Leo was violently thrown against the ship's hull. His safety line, strained to its limits, held, but he was dazed, disoriented, and drifting away from his work area. His voice came over the radio, weak and shaky, "I've been hit. I can't get back on my own." Inside, Nia and Alexei sprang into action. "I'm suiting up," Alexei declared, his voice resolute. He quickly donned his spacesuit, his cybernetic arm making the process faster and more efficient. Nia, meanwhile, was at the navigation panel, her eyes scanning for Leo's location. "Alexei, he's drifting towards the starboard solar array. You need to intercept him before he gets too far." Alexei, now fully suited, nodded. "On my way. Keep talking to me, Nia." Elara's voice crackled over the radio, strained but calm. "I'm trying to stabilize the ship. Get Leo back inside ASAP. We need every hand on deck to deal with this crisis." In the vacuum of space, Alexei propelled himself towards Leo, his movements precise, each burst from his suit's thrusters calculated. The sight of Leo, limp and adrift, quickened his pulse. Reaching out with his cybernetic arm, he grabbed Leo's safety line and pulled him in. "Got you," he said, a hint of relief in his voice. "Let's get you back to the airlock." Leo's voice was faint, "Thanks, Alexei." That was too close. As they made their way back to the airlock, Nia guided them. Straight ahead, Alexei. Watch out for the debris from the panel. Once inside, the urgency didn't abate. The oxygen levels were still dropping, and the ship had suffered significant damage. The crew was now in a race against time to repair the Pioneer and ensure their survival in the unforgiving void of space. In the aftermath of the collision, the Pioneer's crew faced a dire situation. Inside the medical bay, Nia attended to Leo, who was still reeling from the shock of the incident. "You're lucky to be alive," she said, her voice a mix of concern and relief. "Take it easy for a moment." Leo nodded, his mind already racing. "We need to check the oxygen tanks," he said, pushing himself up. "If they're compromised." "I'm with you," Alexei interjected, his expression stern. Together, they made their way to the oxygen storage, moving with urgency. Meanwhile, Elara called Nia to the bridge. "Nia, I need you here. We're drifting off course, and the navigation systems are erratic." Nia responded without hesitation, "On my way, Captain." In the oxygen storage bay, Leo and Alexei surveyed the damage. Several tanks were beyond repair, leaking precious oxygen into space. "I need a series of patch plates and sealant," Leo said, his voice tense. Alexei nodded, his cybernetic limbs whirring as he quickly gathered the necessary materials. Working swiftly, Leo managed to seal some of the tanks, conserving what little oxygen remained. "This should hold for now," he said, his brow furrowed in concentration. On the bridge, Elara and Nia worked together, their hands flying over the controls, stabilizing the ship's trajectory. "We're back on course," Elara announced, though the relief in her voice was short-lived. The crew gathered, faces drawn and anxious, as Leo delivered the grim news. "We've only got about 2 hours of oxygen left." The atmosphere was tense as Elara activated the 3D map of their surrounding space. 2 options emerged: an unknown desert planet, roughly an hour and 30 minutes away, or a hostile base 2 hours and 15 minutes distant. "We don't have much time," Elara stated, her gaze moving from one crew member to another. "The desert planet is closer, but we know nothing about it. The hostile base is a risk, but at least we might find resources there." The crew weighed their options, the gravity of their decision palpable in the air. Each choice carried its own set of dangers and uncertainties, and with the clock ticking down, they had to make a decision, and fast.